Hi, I'm Jyoti from Zengage, and I'm going to show you WebSenz, the easy-to-use web analytics tool written specifically for the iMIS 20 cloud platform. Now, you may already be using a web analytics tool, and it may be throwing a huge amount of data at you. However, you may not be able to link any of this data back to your donor or your member records. And in so doing, you may be battling to get value out of all the data that is presented to you. Well, if this is giving you a headache, then we have a solution for you. Introducing WebSenz, the very first web analytics tool written specifically to link to your member and donor records. It works across all versions of iMIS, and it allows you to analyze web behaviors and trends against any groups within iMIS. This gives you better insight because you can reference with any other data inside your database. For example, are people browsing your products but not going away and purchasing them? Or if you're an advanced marketeer, you may want to use URL parameter tracking for A/B testing or such. Now, because this works right inside of iMIS Rise, it works with other tools like web engagement scoring. So you could use someone's web behavior to roll up directly into their web engagement score and tell how involved someone is with your organization. Let's have a look at the tool in a bit more detail. So here we have the dashboard that comes out of the box with iMIS Rise. This can all be configured to your personal needs, but right at the very start, we're showing the total number of visits to your site this month, as well as the top referrers and who's driving traffic to your website. You can also see how your website is performing with the average page load time. And importantly, you can see how long people are spending actually reading your content. Below that, we've got trends. So you can see year on year by member type, which member types are becoming more engaged or which member types are becoming less engaged. We can also tell by device type who is reading what pages. So we can see here how long people are spending on their Windows devices reading which pages versus the Mac devices versus, for example, the iPhone devices. And we can see for the iPhone devices, people are spending time reading the item detail or the product pages. Now, important to know is, are people actually going away and buying? And that's where the web drop-offs section comes in handy. So here we can see under the events that Dr. Chris Baker has looked at the chapter August event on the 14th of December, but hasn't actually gone away and registered for that event. So we could set up an automated email that went out once a week to say, we notice you've looked at our event but haven't registered. Do you need some help? Now the same is true for products. If someone browses a product, they can also go away and buy it, or if they don't buy it, get an automated email to say, do you need help? Down below the page, we've got some more query-driven analytics. And here we're seeing the page hits for regular members. And I'm looking at those regular members who have hit the member homepage and what, for example, country they've hit the page from, what was their IP address, the device they were using, how long they spent on that particular page, etc., etc. So I can compare this by any member type in the system. I can also see maps, and traditionally web analytics tools allow you to see the IP address of the user that hit the particular page, and of course we have that. But because we've got the registered user's address in iMIS, we can actually see much more detail down to, for example, the street and the house number where that person has hit the website from. We've got trends that will allow you to spot whether a new market is perhaps developing, or what is the website activity like over time by year or by month. So if I drilled into 2017, for example, we could see whether more people are suddenly hitting my page from another country and I need to start presenting my content in another language. Now, what about the data sitting behind all these dashboards? Well, that's all accessible to you. All the data behind here is stored in iMIS queries. And if I look at the data source, we can see that there's a lot more data that is presented to you that you can create queries and dashboards from. every line in my data source is linked back to my contact key, which unlocks the rest of the iMIS data to link back to. I can see the page, the date, the time. I can see their screen size, their browser, the browser language, for example, as well as information like have they clicked a link to leave that page and what link on the page did they click. So that's the dashboards, the overall dashboards, but what about the individual records? Well, here you can see on the individual record for Brian Murphy, the WebSenz tab that shows when the person last logged in and their previous login. But I can also see which pages this person has been interested in. For example, the item detail or the product page. I can see when they hit it, where they hit it from, where they came from, for example. This is a great tool for starting conversations with your members. So if we were to go away now to our public website, and by the way, iMIS works on your staff website as well, but I go to the shop part of the website and I hit the Association CEO's Guide as Brian Murphy. If I go back to Brian Murphy's profile, I'll see when I refresh the page that this number of 12 hits will go up to 13. And there we can see it's loaded to 13, and the time that I've loaded it is 12 o'clock, and I can see a web hit at 12 o'clock for Brian Murphy. So this is all happening in real time in your system. If you're thinking that this might be complex to run or implement, think again. We give you all the content, all the dashboards simply to import, and then you just copy one line of script into your Google Analytics script area inside iMIS, and that makes running it, implementing it as easy as ABC. If you'd like more information or you'd like to contact us to talk about the tool, please do contact us on info@zengage.co. We'd love to talk to you. Thank you.